They say silence can cut deeper than a scream. That's exactly how I walked away. No shouting, no pleading, no dramatic scene, just quiet. When I discovered my wife's affair, something inside me didn't explode. It simply stopped. Not a cinematic meltdown. A cold, steady breaking. A quiet kind of pain that doesn't roar, it just erases you from within. It was a year ago. A regular Tuesday. I came home early, nothing unusual. The lights were low. The house felt oddly still. Her phone sat on the kitchen counter, screen glowing with a message. Can't wait to see you again. My stomach dropped, but my hands didn't shake as I unlocked the phone. And there it was, messages, pictures, hotel confirmations, words I thought I was the only one she'd ever write to. I didn't confront her immediately. I just sat in the living room for hours, staring at our wedding photo. The smiles that once felt so real now looked like strangers pretending. When she finally walked in, humming to herself like it was any other night, I didn't raise my voice. I handed her the phone unlocked and said quietly, "You left this on the counter." Her face went pale. She opened her mouth, but I cut her off. "You don't have to explain. I had already read everything." She crumbled, crying, talking about feeling lonely, about us drifting apart, about mistakes she never meant to make. I only nodded. "I'm not angry," I told her. And I wasn't. Anger would have meant I still had something left to give. I was just finished. I don't want to stay in something that stopped meaning anything. I packed that night. Just essentials, some clothes, my laptop, my sketchbook. When she realized I was serious, she panicked, begged, shook, tried to hold my hands. I stepped back gently. "You broke something that doesn't get repaired," I said. And I left. No yelling, no goodbye. I moved to another part of town and started over. The first months were rough, quiet, lonely, but oddly freeing. I learned to cook for one, to sleep in the middle of the bed, to fill silence without feeling swallowed by it. I poured myself into work, into woodworking, into helping my brother rebuild his porch. Slowly, life stitched itself back together. A year passed. Not a single word from her, until that night. Close to midnight, a soft knock echoed through my apartment. Then another, faster. I hesitated before opening the door. And there she was, my ex-wife. Hair messy, mascara streaked, eyes red. Like a faded version of the woman I once loved. "Can I come in?" she whispered. I stepped aside. She entered slowly, clutching a ruined tissue, trembling even though the night outside was still and dry. "I didn't know where else to go," she said, pacing the space that used to be ours. She looked around, new couch, different photos on the wall, snapshots from hikes and sunsets I'd taken on my own. "It all looks different," she murmured. "Yeah," I said. "So do I." She let out a shaking breath. I made the worst mistake of my life. I didn't rush to comfort her. I let the words sit between us like heavy stones. "You don't have to say that to make me feel better," I replied. "I'm not," she insisted. "He left months ago. Told me I was too emotional, too dramatic. And I kept thinking maybe I deserved it." Her eyes met mine, full of desperation. "But I miss you. I miss what we had." There was a time when hearing that would have shattered me. Now it just felt like an echo from a life I no longer lived. "You miss the version of me who let things slide," I said softly. She flinched. "That's not true." "It's honest," I answered. Silence filled the room again. "The kind you can't run from." "I thought you hated me," she whispered. "I did," I said. "For a while. But hate fades. Eventually you get tired of replaying the damage. You learn to live without the apology you thought you needed." She stepped closer, hand half raised, then lowered it. "I'm not expecting you to take me back. I just needed to say I'm sorry. I ruined something good." I nodded. "You did." She broke down, shoulders shaking, tears falling hard. And for the first time in a long time, I felt something closure. That calm recognition that the person who hurt you isn't a villain. Just a flawed human being who made choices they can't undo. When she finally stopped crying, I handed her a glass of water. She stared at it, avoiding my gaze. You look happy, she said quietly. I am, I replied. Not because I stopped loving you, but because I learned to love myself again. A peaceful silence settled over us, heavy, but not hurting this time. When she stood to leave, she paused in the doorway. You really moved on, didn't you?
Yeah, I said.
And I hope someday you do, too. Her eyes softened with something that looked like regret. You are the only one who ever made me feel safe, she whispered. And then she walked out. I stood there long after she was gone, listening to the fading sound of her car in the distance. Then I closed the door gently, just like the way I walked out a year ago. No shouting. No chaos. Just silence. Because not all endings need noise to be powerful. Some only require you to finally choose yourself.